Martin, that looked as if he just rubbed the wall there.
You're right there, Murray.
Third gear.
One of the problems the drivers have to contend with is visibility. Their visors get very dirty out on the track. Every 5 laps or so they'll need to give it a wipe to keep it clear with the back of their glove or their sleeve. Of course, when it gets really difficult to see, they can peel off one of the clear tear-off strips that cover the visor.
Fifth gear. Down into second. Go! Bruce McLaren, the immensely talented driver and car designer, formed his team in 1966, just 4 years before he was killed. Since then, fortunes have varied, but at the height of their success towards the end of the 80s, under manager Ron Dennis, McLaren dominated both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships for 4 consecutive years. After losing the Honda engine in 1992, McLaren have been striving to establish themselves again with Mercedes-Benz. Even so, they remain one of the Big 4 teams.
This year all the teams have lowered the driving seat to try and combat the turbulence caused by the driver's helmet, which reduces the efficiency of the air intake into the engine. Another benefit they hope to see will be better handling of the car due to the lower centre of gravity.
He's already behind his best time at Intermediate 1. He's hit the Canadian. Let me just check how that time compares. He's down at the second split. Down into second. Third gear. Fourth. He's braking hard. That's slower than his fastest time at Intermediate 1. An interesting point to note is that both Williams and Jordan, two of the great innovators in car design, have opted for an oval air intake above the driver's head. It'll be interesting to see what difference this makes. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today. Up into sixth. Up into second. Third gear. Fourth gear. Down into second. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. He's already behind at split 1 and also down on his own previous best. That's down on his previous fastest lap at the second split. That's a better time over the first intermediate. He's improving on his own previous times, but still down on the qualifying leader. Fourth, down into second, down into first, second, third gear, fourth gear, up into fifth, sixth gear.
One unique feature of the Stewart car design is the high side pods on the car and the large turning vanes, which should reduce the amount of debris that is sucked off the track into the radiator grills during the normal course of a race. This sort of accumulation can actually cause a drop-off between 10 and 20% in the radiator's efficiency.
That first split time is actually faster than the current fastest qualifying lap. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. He's improving on his own previous times, but still down on the qualifying leader. Up into third gear, down into second. That first split time is actually faster than the current fastest qualifying lap. He's up on the leader at intermediate 2. Third gear, third.
When you're driving a Formula One car, you cannot be tense. You're strapped in, you feel every movement, you're part of the car, and if you're tense with the car, it slides that little bit more. You must relax and let the car do the work.
Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying time so far. That's slower than his fastest time at intermediate 1. New safety rules for the design of the cars this year have meant that the teams have had to include a deformable structure behind the gearbox to protect the driver in the event of rear impact. Ferrari did this last year, and they've already overcome most of the problems, like excessive vibration, which can crack the rear wing. 4th, 5th, up into 6th. That's down on his previous fastest lap at the second split. Third gear, third. He's slower than the leading time at split 1, but improving on his own lap times. Down into second, down into first, second, down into second. He's down on the leader at split 2, but his time is quicker than his previous best.
Weight is king in a Formula One car. Every extra kilo you have to carry loses you about 200ths of a second per lap. Fuel load, as in the aviation industry, is measured in kilos, not litres, and is precisely calculated to give optimum performance for minimum weight.
His time for the first sector is better, but he's still not as quick as the fastest qualifier. Third gear. That's a good second split time. Not the fastest we've seen, but very respectable nevertheless. Four, up into fourth, fifth gear. Up into second, up into third. That first split time is actually faster than the current fastest qualifying lap. Down into first. He's looking good for an excellent lap here, up at split 2. Down into first, down into second. Up into fourth, fourth. Fourth gear, fourth. Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying time so far. That's slower than his fastest time at intermediate 1. It's Coulthard. That was a very heavy collision with the Armco. Let's hope he's all right. Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today. Down into into second. Down into second. Down into second. The Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona is the scene for the Spanish Grand Prix 1997. This is quite a challenging course, just under 3 miles, a good mixture of bends and a long start and finish straight for overtaking. And that's unusual for a modern circuit. Michael Schumacher, no doubt, will be hoping to reproduce his win here in '96, when the rain caused so many problems for most of the field, but not for him. The drivers are lined up on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start. The red lights are beginning to come on. And it's go, go, go! This is the critical time now. Unbelievable! Spectacular overtaking there. He's just hit Magnussen. There was definitely contact between the two cars. He's hit Larini. Look at that. Something must be wrong. He's dropping back. That's down. He's got through past Verstappen. Into lap 2 now. He's closing the gap in front. Let's see how his times compare. He was actually going faster than the race leader over the first section of the course. Race order. In first place, Williams #1. In second position, Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Hang on! He's hit Larini. In third place, Jean Alesi. In fourth position, Michael Schumacher. In fifth place, Gerhard Berger. In sixth place, Ralf Schumacher. Three laps laps of the race left now. That lap will certainly help him catch the car in front. He's dropping back a bit. He's lost a place to Nakano. Shinji Nakano. In 11th place, David Coulthard. 12th, Jos Verstappen. We're into the second to last lap. He's losing ground. The gap is growing.
With the 107% rule of the past couple of years, we're seeing that the tail-end teams have had to sharpen up their act and spend longer making sure they can do competitive time. This means that the gap between the qualifying time from the front to the back of the grid is now much less.
And he's on his last lap now. Let's see how they stand now. The race leader, Williams number 1. Second, Heinz Harald Frentzen. In third, Jean Alesi. In fourth, Michael Schumacher. In fifth position, Gerhard Berger. What's happened? In sixth, Ralf Schumacher. Normally, motor racing, driving a car right to its limit, is very much a skill from the head, not from the heart. But out on the track today, we're seeing some really passionate performances. The gap is growing. It's a win for the Canadian. I'm sure Frank Williams and the rest of the Williams team will be absolutely delighted with this win. In second place, Heinz Harald Frentzen. Third, Jean Alesi. David Coulthard. He'll be disappointed.
Thank you.